Okay, I figured we need to do something that's just a standard, And so this ain't too bad, but I'm thinking the hair keeps buzzing out of it, so I'm just gonna over here. Da-da-da. Yeah, we'll just get back to the regular here. Okay. And happy Christmas Eve, everybody. This is my Christmas present to myself, so I figured I better, drag it out after some wailing and actually we managed to get the collar mostly on there. Yeah, the fact that I can manage to get into it and still breathe means only better things when I finally manage to lose some weight and it fits a little better. It won't be quite a struggle to get the collar, the Bossman. Okay, yeah. All right. I can still put this up. Okay. Can't do the chat window on the side, but I can do that. But there was a little something I came across that I figured this could be useful to all. From Alex Phillips at, the hell? Give me that back. Let me just give a quick little glimpse of what I'm doing. Whoops. We got a vlog. It's also regular on GB News. But I'm not going to try and get you to read that. So I'll read along here. So let's get back over here. All right. Well, that's like celebrate Christ this Christmas, whether you believe in God or not. The birth of Jesus changed the world. Even if you don't believe him to be the Son of God, it is important to put him at the heart of Christmas. It's going down here. The birth of Jesus Christ in Bethlehem over 2,000 years ago changed and shaped the entire world. You may not have faith, but the historical figure of Jesus is the most important human to have ever been born. And you may not realize that whatever your thoughts on God, the man Jesus indubitably lived, something that invites consensus among historians and scientists. There is more evidence for Jesus of Nazareth than Alexander the Great. Name me someone else who has ever lived who has been as influential as this man. Our years can correlate to his birth. All the values and morals of modern humanity appeared in the wake of it. He is the most famous person to have ever lived, and for good reason. He brought the world a revolution in love. At its core, the message of Christmas is one of profound hope and peace. After the bloodthirsty power hierarchies of the ancient world, the violence, the exploitation, and hedonism, Jesus wholly changed how society functions and treats one another forever. If that isn't the evidence of a miracle or of the divine, I don't know what is. For me, the wonder of Jesus is empirically borne out in easily available fact. That one man should change the course of history so significantly and beautifully is evidence enough for me. The Prince of Peace, Isaiah 9:6, entered the world humbly and in a manger as God's gift to humanity. Emmanuel, God with us. John 3:16 captures the essence. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. The translation. Christianity is unique in its accessibility to God, and that is the power behind how and why its influence has been so impactful. That man can follow the example of man to become more godlike is critical to Christianity's power. And we follow the story of miracles and the message we must grow. As we follow the story of miracles with the message we must grow to become closer to God, the passing of time has witnessed this play out. Jesus cured leprosy and blindness by divine intervention. Today, humans have used their unique powers to harness godlike wisdom through science to do the same. It is no coincidence that the vast majority of life-changing innovations have actually come from followers of Christ. Christmas reminds us that divine love bridges the gap between heaven and earth, that we are made in the image of God. It also offers reconciliation, forgiveness, and eternal hope amid human brokenness. This message has reverberated through history, profoundly shaping Western civilization and beyond. Christianity, emerging from Judaism in the Roman Empire, spread rapidly due to its emphasis on universal dignity, compassion, and moral order. While critics point to the conflicts like the Crusades or religious wars as evidence of division, these often stem from political ambitions rather than core teachings of love and peacemaking. Christianity's net impact has been transformative, fostering advancements in inventions, democracy, civilization, and peace. In the realm of inventions and innovations, Christianity provided a worldview that propelled scientific inquiry. The belief in a rational creator who ordered the universe encouraged exploration of natural laws as thinking God's thoughts after him, as astronomer Johannes Kepler put it. Medieval monasteries preserved ancient knowledge, and the church founded the first universities in Europe, such as Bologna and Oxford. Many groundbreaking scientists were devout Christians. Isaac Newton, whose laws of motion and gravity revolutionized physics, viewed his work as revealing divine design. Francis Bacon pioneered the scientific method. Alessandro Volta invented the battery, and Gregor Mendel, a monk, laid the foundations for genetics. The scientific revolution flourished in Christian Europe, with scholars like Robert Boyle and Blaise Pascal advancing chemistry and mathematics while affirming faith. Christianity also influenced modern democracy. Biblical ideas of human equality, created in God's image, from Genesis 1:27, and covenantal governance inspired concepts of inherent rights and limited authority. Thinkers like John Locke drew from Christian theology for natural rights theories underpinning the American Declaration of Independence. Post-World War II Christian democratic parties in Europe emphasized human dignity, social welfare, and reconciliation, helping rebuild stable democracies. On civilization, Christianity elevated human worth, abolishing practices like infanticide and gladiatorial games in the Roman world. It promoted charity through hospitals, orphanages, and education. Figures like William Wilberforce, driven by evangelical faith, led the abolition of the slave trade in the British Empire. Finally, Christianity's impact on peace is evident in its teachings of nonviolence and reconciliation. Jesus' Sermon on the Mount blesses peacemakers and urges love for enemies. Historic peace churches like Quakers and Mennonites embody pacifism, while leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. applied Christian principles of nonviolent resistance to advance civil rights. Though imperfectly lived out, Christianity has inspired humanitarian efforts from medieval truce movements to modern peace building. If anything, the willful dilution and erosion of Christianity has left a vacuum into which isolation, egotism, and societal breakdown are starting to emerge. A world without God places too much power into the hands of imperfect humans and has ushered in a warped pseudo-morality being played out in pronouns, hypersexuality, unbridled capitalism, and cancel culture. Christmas invites reflection on this legacy. A child born to bring peace on earth in a divided world, his message of love and redemption remains a beacon, urging us towards innovation, justice, and harmony. Whatever your plans this Christmas, raise a glass to Jesus of Nazareth. We celebrate his birth the world over for a reason. That reason is love. And the chat here. Freaking out. Keep changing names all the damn time. All right. I figured that needed to be shared. And that's, and like I said, personally speaking, I have, I'm not sure where I fall religious, but the past year or so show me there are forces in this universe, okay, that can only be called good, evil, demonic, and something is going on here, so. And I'm betting I'm probably, closer to a Roddenberry type thing where it's like, not going with the Bronze Age visualism. It's like, the God, but something's going on here that we need to start paying attention to. It, like I said, Roddenberry is not a Bible burning atheist. The thing is, he was very much a humanist, but it's like, he knew there was something else going on here that we don't know and we can't know. We're not equipped to know, but something's going on here. And we better start paying attention to it. It's tea. It's sweet tea. But it's like we kind of taking our hand off the wheel a little too long here, and now the crazies are trying to take over here. So it's time to start pushing back. And again, though, it kind of goes to the thing, how can you be a conservative and be a Trekkie? Because you don't understand Star Trek very well, do you? You're an ultra liberal type either, do you? Go ahead and just let it all hang out there. There is a morality there. And again, Roddenberry was not a big atheist. I think he wasn't quite sure what all was either, because he described writing Star Trek as the continuing education of Gene Roddenberry. He's trying to figure out what's going on in the world. But anyway, I'm glad to actually have people here. That's the phrase going to go on. That's going to rant on for several minutes, and like nothing was going to happen. But yeah, I figured it's Christmas Eve. Dress up a bit, Don't just throw on another T-shirt that I got in a pile over here, trying to rotate through. No, I think sometime tomorrow, throw the ham in the oven and get dinner going. Yeah, some biscuits earlier because we're out of bread. Okay, that's good. I'm serving a purpose. And of course, all the quest continues to try and get Indy to turn away from the dark side too. And some just pointed out that no, it is not kind to pander into the delusions. It's like you don't tell anorexics, oh, they're perfectly healthy. You don't have to eat this month. It's like no, and that's something because Indy was treated for anorexia back when she was a teenager. So like a sit her down and say, did they say, no, go ahead, don't eat? No, you're fine. Yeah, no, they do I need to drag up the video you're talking about when you're in treatment? You eat, and they will measure to make sure you eat. Measure your bowel movements to make sure you ate everything. Everything else. And guess what? This is the same thing going on here, kid. The same same issues that cause you to do this or cause you to do that, to do that or doing this. So no, not playing the game. Okay. I said it is not a kind. It's cruel. It is cruelty beyond hell to play. Them play along and dive deeper into the delusion. So that's what and I quote tweeted. Mary Kate W. It's like no, it's not. The kindness is the truth. And that's why I quote tweeted and said, yeah, so indeed, it's like with all the love in the world, you're a woman. Wake up. It's figure out how to live in the real world. It's like going to be a hell of a lot better than this, fantasy world you're building up and trying to maintain badly. Yeah. Put up a vlog about, it's like there's nothing masculine about that. The outfit is girly as all hell. The skincare routine detailed. Okay. Maybe, a few male models have to go through something because that's their livelihood. They have to maintain it. But guys in general, no. Male skin is thicker and tougher. It's just by design. We don't do that. Okay. Sure as hell don't do something in the morning. Something like you're lucky we bathe. Okay. Yeah. But like I said, I'm going to keep going on that one because I think a while back, it was around late August, which you tried to make the restraining order permanent, and then I filed my statements that no, this is what's going on. This is the person you're dealing with. And during my digging, I also found 2 previous court cases she was in. One of them was just the following November after she filed against me. It's like, yeah, and then because it was like August when it went in, end of August, just before her birthday, and then just a couple months later, it's like suddenly it's like, okay, what the hell happened in November? Yeah, real humans. Even though I think you're the only one watching right to one, but no, it's like so yeah, she got all the bad news, of which I know was denied. I have not crossed any lines. She's a public figure, so am I. She's doing this shit publicly. I'm public. I'm commenting on publicly. As long as I don't cross the line, like try and contact her or family privately or anything, or divulge information that is incompetent. Sorry, you're fair game, kiddo. And we'll continue into next year, continuing this little fight. But yeah, this was quite a find actually, because it was secondhand from the guy down in Texas. And even though right now the gut, I mean, it's a bit of a sausage casing, it's better than, because I had another one that actually I bought only because it came with a phaser model. It was still cheaper just from the phaser model. And I think the pants that came with it I could kind of get into. But that one is like, I get it. Like this one, is like, okay, and it's actually pretty authentic. The only thing is it's not, the braid is actually embroidered onto the sleeve, which is fine. And then less issues going to be coming undone, and it's authentic. This is what it looked like. It also means I'm not getting promoted. And the insignia is also open, so anything I put, if I want to change ships, I got to do something to put over it. But yeah, they did authentic. The zipper and the clasp on the collar, which was a pain in the ass to get. This is my quest for finally a proper, authentic uniform top. Well, yeah, some of it's muscle, some of it's living too good for my own, living too well for my own good. Trust me, if I stand up, it's not as flattering. Okay. But when I had a pretty good uniform back in the 80s, and I was also still in decent shape back in the 80s because I was in the Air Force. Yeah, I still have the shirt somewhere, but like I couldn't fit into that if my life depended on it right now. But got a lot of compliments. I get people taking my picture at conventions, saying, "Hey, this is also the proper shade too." This is the original uniforms. Velour was kind of a new fabric in the mid '60s, and it photographed great. There was very little, not much. It didn't wrinkle much at all. Had nice, but problem is with velour is a funny fabric. If you have like, you have that sort of thing, or some pillows. You brush it, because it's kind of fuzzy, and that affects how the light works off of it. So that on the hanger, it's this color. Put it on somebody, and the color reflects a little differently. You put it on stage lights and the set, and then you get argument. There was yellow, it's green, and when you factor in, not everybody got the memo that Leonard Nimoy was supposed to be kind of yellowish skin guys, and oh my god, tweak that. He looks. This is weird, and when they tweak his skin tone to look more human-like, that affects everything else in the scene. And if he's in a scene with Kirk, guess what? Yeah, Spock is now looking kind of pink, and now Shatner's wearing an orange shirt. Yeah, it carries down. And again, there was different colored gels in the lights. Everything went weird. And finally, third season is like also prompted by the fact that velour, especially the velour at that time, shrinks every time it's dry cleaned. Just a bit. And they would dry clean the wardrobe every night. They would take the insignia off, turn it off, dry clean, bring it back. That's why in Enemy Within, There's no insignia on Kirk for a couple of bits because they forgot to put it on. It was early days; they weren't quite in the habit yet, and no one caught it. That's one thing they really should have fixed in the remastering. It's just, come on, stick an insignia back on him because it doesn't match with the later scenes where it's there. But that was also because it was filmed on a different. It wasn't filmed at the same time. It was a pickup shot. You know, there was a lot of overlap with production. But by third season, it's like they'd had enough with the velours, and they got to this kind of fabric here. And look at the color's a little more consistent. You can tell. Yeah, that's it. So this is probably described as kind of the third season uniform. But yeah, I think we need to get this thing to stay down in the feet. Yeah. Yep. Get some batteries for this thing. Okay, one thing I'm needing because I got the pistol grip with no phaser 1 in it. This is from another one, another phaser. And I'm hoping, get half of it because trying to get them together is ridiculous sometimes. I got the bottom half for like maybe around $20 or so, maybe less. Okay. I'm trying to find a loose phaser 1 though. A little pain in the butt. And other ideas because there's that mood rock thing they came out with. The one company came out with the light up rock, and the remote is a phaser 1. It's a first season phaser 1 though. It's slightly different, but it won't fit. And the kit from that model kit, the 23rd century pistol kit that was out for a while, kind of bootleg, that doesn't fit. Only it's going to fit is a Art Asylum Diamond Select phaser 1. Mood rings. That's going back to my childhood. Okay, that's like late 60s, early 70s thing. That was just local liquid crystal. Just affected by your body heat. So I don't know how much it really does much for your mood. It's just like how hot or cold your hand is. If you're holding a milkshake, like. No, I sent the invite out there. See if anybody from the usual chat shows up. But I think next target on the renovation thing is going to be this table. I got to clean this crap up and then find out what the hell is here. A large part of just pull everything off and then start putting stuff back in permanent. Also, eventually the goal is to get a dress uniform shirt. Yeah. And I think the collar would tend to be up front to be a lot easier to put together because this thing over here on the side, I had to have Steph wrestle, and that took a lot of yelling. So. Let's see. But I need to get this more of a working situation here. I also need to work out the money situation so we can actually make an attempt at, trying to pay the rent at least close to on time. I also need to get a pilot version uniform to go with the screen name. I've got one in there, but I don't think I can get into it anymore. But yeah, I think I'm going to get that out there. That Alex Phillips article. Figured lead with that, and just get people coming in and saying, "Okay, that's," and then they start dropping off. And they talk about Indy. Yeah, fine. I'm still hopeful there will be a reconciliation at some point as things start to fall apart. But again, my goal in this whole thing is to so many detransitioners that nobody stood up to say no, you're not fill in the blank. You are what you are. It's like, nobody was, they didn't have anybody that I wanted to be that somebody. It's like, no, you're not. I'm your lifeline back to reality, dipshit. Okay. So when everything, so when it does finally blow apart, and everyone's like, you know, and then starts getting abandoned all the place. Like, hey, can we talk now? Now that you've rediscovered reality, can we talk? Yeah. And again, then links in the description of some therapists in in the Seattle area that say, go talk to them. In fact, I post some of the posts I put up. I put the number up several times. It's like, call these guys. Your current therapists have utterly failed you. For Christ's sakes, it's like, because my dad did some counseling for a while. It was kind of an outgrowth of being a pastor, and he would have, I got took out. There was one time, one kind of a friend who was like having a full on meltdown up in the mountains, and I got dragged along. I don't know why. Why would you take your son along? So not like I was a kid or anything. I was in my 20s, but it's like, holy crap. But it's like the goal of therapy and counseling should be to get the person to accept reality and live in it peacefully and with the real world, not to dive deeper into a delusion that never ends well. In fact, it usually ends up rather violently. And Indy's already said she's got a violent streak. She's got a tattoo on the back of her arm that says hot tempered. At least it supposedly. I was talking to a Japanese guy before he went full goose bozo. But what the hell is this? It's got this kaiju thing where they, not kaiju, that's monsters. But she's got the Japanese, glisten. What the hell is that supposed to? Because it's not really accurate. It's kanji. One of them is supposed to be insane. It's missing a piece, so being charitable really means half insane. It's missing a piece of it. And the other one, no. It's supposed to be violent or hot tempered, but it's like it bears a loose resemblance to the kanji for hot tempered, but it's like you gotta kind of squint a bit, so like you got in the ballpark from an Anglo sense of view, but from Japanese point of view, like, what the hell is this? It's like the resemblance is like the Swedish chef and actual Swedish. It's mock Swedish. It's mock kanji. So, I think those are pretty stout tattoos. So like, good luck getting that fixed. But this is, I said I'm gonna stick with this here. Because there's another problem with her personality types is usually being abandoned frequently because she gets too much to handle. People can't put up with it. It's like, no, I'm sticking with this. I'm not abandoning. I'm not going to bail out. And one thing is the fact that I don't have to live with her. That helps. There's a distance there. So I can be the steadfast friend who will never go away and never abandon you because I live in Denver. She lives in Seattle. Okay. And even if she did live next door, it's like, we got a separation here. I can tell her, go home. But this has been a very educational year for me, and doing and stuff like borderline personalities or the whole trans thing. And just the basic differences between men and women. We are not the same by any stretch. If it wasn't for reproduction, we'd be totally different species. Okay. It's like, I mean, even just early on when we were still talking and going on in her rationalization of other things, guys don't think like that. How the hell can you say you have a male brain? A male brain does not function at anywhere near that level. We are very single-minded. Okay. See mammoth, kill mammoth. Drag back to cave, See Lana, zug Lana. Okay. We're not well suited for multitasking. Okay. We do one thing, we can do several things, but really one thing at a time and bounce back and forth. That's about it, I think it's maybe what, we can, carry on our conversation while watching a movie. It's like, no, we need to focus on one thing here. Shut the fuck up. I'm watching a movie. Shut the hell. I'm trying to watch stuff. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. So, since everyone's abandoned me now. So, okay. But this will be a nice bite-sized thing. So, go ahead and pull up a closing video. I might do something later, depending on if maybe Rosetta is ready, but it's Christmas Eve. I don't think so. I might do a Fortnite stream later if I can get that to work right. It's been rather crash happy. But otherwise, we will talk at you later.